Cornelia Arnolda Johanna Corrie ten Boom was a Dutch Christian watchmaker, and later a writer who worked with her father, Caspar ten Boom, her sister Betsy ten Boom and other family members to help many Jews escape the Nazis from the Holocaust during World War II. She believed her actions were following the will of God. Corrie ten Boom was born on 15 April 1892 to a working-class family in Amsterdam, Netherlands, near Haarlem. Corrie's early life seemed normal and average in every way. She grew up as one of 4 children born to a devout Dutch Reformed family that had been watchmakers for generations. The family's business contacts with Jewish suppliers in Germany first alerted the ten Booms to dangers of Nazism. William, Corrie's brother, joined the Dutch underground to help provide escape routes for Jews seeking to leave Germany. Word spread quickly among the Jews that the ten Boom family could be trusted. The hidden passages and attic nooks of their 3-story house became a sanctuary for hunted Jews. Every non-Jewish Dutch person had received a ration card, the requirement for obtaining weekly food coupons. Through her charitable work, Corrie knew many people in Haarlem and remembered a family with a disabled daughter, whose father was a civil servant who was now in charge of the local ration card office. She went to his house one evening, and when he asked how many ration cards she needed, "I opened my mouth to say, 5, ten Boom wrote in the hiding place. But the number that unexpectedly and astonishingly came out instead was 100. He gave them to her and she provided cards to every Jew she met. In 1944, exactly 100 years after her grandfather began a Christian prayer meeting for the purpose of praying for the Jewish people, Corrie, her sister and her father were arrested by the Gestapo after they were betrayed by a fellow Dutchman who suspected them of being Jewish sympathizers. Amazingly, the Jewish fugitives hidden in their home escaped detection. Corrie and her sister Betsy were imprisoned at Ravensbrück, a notorious women's death camp, and their father languished in a prison cell until he died a few months later. At Ravensbrück, Corrie and Betsy encouraged the women around them to trust God, and at night they huddled together and read the Bible and prayed aloud to inspire faith in the prisoners. Corrie and her sister began to discuss plans for finding a place of healing after the war. Betsy's health continued to deteriorate, and she died on 16 December 1944 at the age of 59. Before she died, she told Corrie, "There is no pit so deep that God is not deeper still." 15 days later, Corrie was released through a clerical error. The remaining women in her age group were exterminated a week after her release. Calling herself an old maid in her mid-50s, Corrie devoted the next 33 years of her life to telling the story of God's faithfulness in her time of pain and misery. She traveled to 64 nations, telling her story and speaking out against the injustices and anti-Semitism that had caused the Holocaust. Her book, Tramp for the Lord, and her autobiography that became a movie, The Hiding Place, brought her international notoriety. One of the most difficult moments of her life was her return to Ravensbrück in 1947. She traveled to Germany to share the gospel with the German people, telling them that God's love and forgiveness extended to all people, even to those who had actively participated in exterminating the Jews. At the close of the meeting, she found herself face to face with one of the most cruel and despicable guards from Ravensbrück. She later reflected, "It couldn't have been many seconds that he stood there, hand held out, but to me it seemed hours as I wrestled with the most difficult thing I ever had to do." Then, recognizing that she had to forgive even as Christ had forgiven her, she extended her hand to this man. The experience led her to proclaim to audiences around the world, Jesus is victor, and that in Christ, we can be more than conquerors. She had validated her message of God's mercy and love in her own life. In 1978, she suffered 2 strokes, the first rendered her unable to speak, and the second resulted in paralysis. She died on her 91st birthday, the 15th of April 1983, after suffering a 3rd stroke. Corrie was buried in Fairhaven Memorial Park in Santa Ana, California. World changers find problems and address them even though it might cost them. God is still in the ministry of affecting lives through people. Make yourself available. You can be a world changer. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, also comment if necessary.